Trade unions in competitive labor markets. Let's say in competitive labor markets, this is the market demand for labor, which is calculated by the horizontal addition of all individual firms. This is the market supply for labor. And the intersection of both these curves will give us the market clearing labor supplied and labor employed, or demand for labor, right? And this is the wage rate, the free market determined wage rate. Put this as W1. Okay. Now, if we introduce trade unions over here, trade union is an association of workers that will negotiate with employers better wages, better working conditions. So what they feel is the market wage rate is a failure because it's quite low. So what they'll do is they'll shift the market supply curve of labor to the left. Okay. Why do you think this supply curve will actually shift to the left? How can the labor supply curve has moved to the left? What could be the reason?
Is it because of lower wages?
The labor supply curve to the left.
Yeah.
How? Because what they do is they'll introduce trainings and qualifications that are necessary for that job.
Yeah.
So and what that does is it raises the market wage rates from W1 to W2. So if a firm wants to employ workers, this is going to be their wage rate, because workers will not be willing to work now below W2. What I can do is I can actually change the color of it. So this is the So that's the new supply curve that'll be facing a firm. Any workers between 0 to LM2, they have to pay a minimum of W2 wage, and then further up. What we can do is we can actually have a look at this. When there were no trade unions, the firm would be employing at the market wage rate of W1, as I've explained in my previous video. Yeah. And the firm would recruit workers where MCL is equal to MRPL, which is the firm's demand curve for labor.
Yeah.
Yep. But now, because we've introduced trade union, the wages has gone up from W1 to W2. The firm will have to, first of all, the firm will, because its total cost will increase. Why? Because of the rising wage bill, because the wages have moved up from W1 to W2. Yes?
Yeah.
But do you think the firms can employ workers in free markets below the wage rate of W2?
No, I don't think they can.
Right, well done. So, for them, the minimum money they are paying is W2, and if they want to employ any more worker after L2 in the firm, they'll have to pay lower wages, same wages, or higher wages.
Yeah.
They'll have to pay higher wages because after that, as the supply curve has shifted from S1 to S2, to bring more workers in the market, they will be paid higher wages. So when trade unions form in labor markets, they end up shifting the labor supply curve to the left by introducing necessary skills through training, etc. For firms, the new supply curve is the purple in the labor markets, as workers will not be willing to work under W2 no, or below. If firms want to employ more workers after LM2, they will have to pay more. So what the union has done is they have said they've established W2. So any lower wages than W2, no worker are willing to work. Why? Because of the trade union effect.
Yeah.
Now W1 and W2 is also called the trade union markup. I can write over here. So W1, W2 is also called trade union markup. In free markets, the employment was 0 LM2. But because we have introduced trade union, what's happened to the level of employment in the free markets, or in the labor market, sorry?
Decrease.
It has decreased. So trade unions can actually lower the level of employment to increase the wages for better pay and better working conditions. So we can write down over here. Okay.
Yeah.